This video is brought to you by the Equity Assistance Center within the Office of Legal Services at the Arkansas Division of Elementary and Secondary Education. The Equity Assistance Center defines equity as the product of a process that ensures fairness for every student. Equity recognizes that some students must receive differential treatment to achieve fairness. Fairness means that students get what they need to have access to educational opportunities. The provision of services under Section 504 is one such way to achieve fairness. The purpose of this video is to share the history of Section 504 and discuss its relationship with IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 was the first United States disability rights law, commonly known as Section 504. Its enactment recognized that society's treatment of individuals with disabilities was at times discriminatory and based on bias. Section 504 dramatically shifted the legal perception of preventing disability-based discrimination from an individual responsibility to a societal duty. The initial intent of the Section 504 statute was to prohibit disability-based discrimination in employment and federally funded areas like airports and public libraries. In 1973, there was little consideration how Section 504 would influence education and students. As time passed, it was clear to judges, legislators, and the U.S. Office for Civil Rights that Section 504 applied to student access to educational opportunities. The statute now ensures that all qualified students receive a free and appropriate public education. This is referred to as FAPE. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act approaches the subject of FAPE on the basis of the individual. Section 504 approaches FAPE on the basis of how students with disabilities are treated compared to other students, particularly those without disabilities. Unlike IDEA, Section 504 does not entitle students to services, but it ensures a safety net. It provides eligibility for protections and supports that prevent inequitable treatment due to a student's disability. A school may have students with disabilities who do not qualify for services under Section 504 due to not meeting the criteria of having a mental or physical impairment that substantially limits a major life function. Because of the Section 504 criteria, a formal diagnosis does not constitute automatic eligibility for services under Section 504. All students served under IDEA are also protected against discrimination under Section 504. All students served under IDEA have an impairment that meets the Section 504 criteria. Consider the following illustration. If a school system were set up like an airplane, all of its passengers would be their students. Some passengers might have disabilities and some might not. Passengers with impairments that qualify for supports under Section 504 would receive the appropriate protections and services. Some passengers with a disability might not meet the criteria for Section 504, but the airline can still support their needs. Passengers who meet the service criteria under IDEA would gain an entitlement to services under that statute, as well as the anti-discrimination protections under Section 504. The goal of this airline, just like school systems, is to support everyone in achieving their desired life destination. Since 1985, the Arkansas Division of Elementary and Secondary Education Equity Assistance Center has the responsibility of assisting school systems in identifying gaps in fairness and in their compliance with regulations that prohibit discrimination. The Equity Assistance Center provides Section 504 support to all members of the school community and may be accessed by phone or electronically. For additional videos on Section 504, access the Equity Assistance Center's webpage at the Arkansas Division of Elementary and Secondary Education.